Two,
Yeah.
one. Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm an exercise enthusiast. And for the purpose of today's video, we're going to play with some machines. This is Jeremy Amin. Am I saying that correct?
Yeah. So just think of a mean person, Jeremy Amin.
Yes. I mean, so
Yeah.
Jeremy is in Australia, and tell us what exercise and machine and brand you will evaluate for with us today.
Hello. Yes, I am at a gym called Barangaroo Fitness First in Sydney City, and today I'm going to be evaluating the Technogym selectorized seated leg curl with a coupled movement arm.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good. So, when was the first time you encountered this device?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to guess it would have been when I began at this gym. So we're talking September, October 2024, roughly.
Okay.
I've
What
probably
was
seen
your
it beforehand, but I didn't
mhm.
pay attention. Yeah.
What was your immediate impression when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, it looks nice. I like the build, like the
Hmm.
shapes and all that is quite fancy. In terms of usage,
Yeah, yeah. First
mixed,
use.
mixed. First
All
use,
right.
mixed.
What was your first impression on the use?
First impression on the use was getting into it is pretty awkward.
Hmm.
Getting out of it less so, because
Hmm.
the you'll see why when we go through this, but the seat itself, the front part is kind of at a angle up like that. It's a
Hmm.
little bit awkward getting into. Easier than the seated leg extension. Oh, you have wind in the background. Very, very cool. The plants are going
It's a
around.
yeah. This is a real background. It's not fake.
Yeah, yeah, it's real. It's real. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So the leg extension seated on the Techno Gym that has a more aggressive seat to get into. Seated
Hmm.
leg curl, not as cumbersome getting into it, I found. That's like the main thing that stood out to me when I first used it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, After a few uses, how did it feel?
Getting into it and out of it better. I got more used to getting into it and out of it. What stood out to me was it was a little bit cumbersome getting the roller pads to align well, as in
Hmm.
to get my knees aligned with the axis of the machine itself when it was moving.
Okay.
And it could just be because maybe I'm a bit bigger. That I find it somewhat cumbersome but still usable.
Hmm.
Skipping ahead, one of my shorter clients, doesn't like this machine at all. She didn't like it at all because she has very
Hmm.
short shins, and the smallest adjustment on this machine was not comfortable for her to use.
Okay, I'm going to turn off my video for just a moment. What
Sure.
when you first used the machine, in the entry, when you entered the
Yeah.
exercise, you said getting in was difficult, but getting out was easier.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the the considering that you are a taller person,
Yeah.
and was it more difficult because you were taller or just because of the design of the machine?
Ah, not because I'm taller, no. It's because
Okay.
I was already being versed in what yourself and Drew and others in our space talk about in terms of ease of entry and exit. So I was
Hmm.
very conscious of that. And I realized, okay, this is not the easiest piece to get into for myself because of where the seat is, plus where the two pads are, and how far
Hmm.
out they come to be able when you want to first sit into it. So not as much space as you would want, ideally.
Okay.
That's what I mean by relatively cumbersome.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and do you want to go over some things or you want to go to the machine?
Well, I just want to say that this is going to be very good because this
Yes.
is our first video doing this,
Hmm.
and what the plan is to go over a checklist that we have access to on Drew's hit list, his
The hit
private
list.
community, his
Yep.
private community. Do you want to speak to that at all?
Yes. Let me discuss that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, just
The
briefly,
hit
and then we'll
list.
get into it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
the hit list, first of all, is Drew's private community of what we call high intensity training, basically the top level of exercise. If you want to learn about it,
According to us, top level.
yeah, yeah, according to us.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you want to learn about this kind of training or about what we're going to be talking about today, Drew's site is basically the vault of information about this. So I'm just going to leave that there.
yeah.
And
Very
the
good.
exercise machine design principles that we're discussing today, these arose over time from the 1880s up. So these are not things that we just came up with on our own. These are not that. Um,
Hmm.
we
Yep.
still need to work with engineers to form better verbiage about how we do this. So we could use some help with that. If you
Yep.
are a
That's
mechanical
right.
engineer, we would love to have your help in working with these things and talking about these things, and hopefully to have somebody on this video.
Hmm. Hmm.
Anyway, let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go through each of these things. You want to do that? You want me to call them out real quick?
Yeah. So I'd say call out quickly the critical safety requirements first.
Yeah,
So
let's
just
let's do that. Let
for
me
the
let you
purpose
lead
of
with
the
that.
video.
Let me
Yeah. So
let you do that. Yeah.
for the purpose of the doggy. For the purpose of the video, we're going to be going through as much as we can. But for now,
Yep.
initially, the first 2 points. So the most important, which are the critical safety requirements, as in these are the make it or break it for
Mhm.
the ideal of an exercise machine, of a strength machine, or even a
Yes.
cardio machine, any kind of machine, right?
Critical safety.
Critical safety, right? These are, I can see how one or two of these would be considered non-critical to several people
First,
in
first,
the
first off,
industry.
first off, what is the machine again and the brand? I'm going to try to bring it up on screen.
Yeah, it is the Technogym Selection Seated Leg Curl. Selection is the line that they call their selectorized or pin-loaded pieces.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Curl. Okay. I
Yeah,
want to
if you want to
find
just
just a
maybe, if you want to quickly maybe do a screen share from your end just to show people what we're
what
talking
the
about,
yeah what
but
exactly.
they
I'm
can just
trying.
look it up. They're gonna watch us on the internet. They're gonna be able to just Google it in a separate
Yeah.
tab.
Give me just a moment.
But it would be good for you to have it actually on screen so that like you can point things out,
Yeah.
or I can point things out and have you go to it when I'm on the machine, or if you want to highlight anything.
Give me just a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Pardon, folks. These are the growing pains of the technical difficulties of the first broadcast, the first recording.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have to do this later because I have not done permissions on it yet. I'd have to come out of the
That's
video
fine. Don't worry
and stay
about it.
back
That's
in.
all good. Yep, yep, yep. Cool.
Yeah.
So, critical safety requirements first. There are 7 points here. There are going to be more, which we'll eventually add to this list.
Hmm.
And then we're going to go through what we have here as the primary design criteria, which is 24 items, which needs to be, yep, that is the piece right there. But
Ah, it worked this time. There we go.
that is mirrored though, because my one is the other way. My one, the weight stack is on the right of the machine.
It may very well be mirrored.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, that is the machine, but
Okay.
it looks like that might be an older model. You'll see.
All right. Let me see if I can find a newer model. I think there is a
It
newer
looks like
model
a
here.
possibly older model. Go to the web, mm, go into image, scroll down. Yep, that looks like it.
All right.
Yep, yep. That's it, I think. Selection Pro. Okay, we might not have, I think that is the Pro. We might not have the Pro. You'll see when I get to it, that looks more like our one. Yeah.
Okay.
So they have the Selection Pro here. Okay, cool. Good to know.
All right.
So Daniel, I'm
Yes.
curious. you asked me what were my initial thoughts on using it and seeing it. What are your initial thoughts looking at this image? Have you used this piece or seen this piece in real life,
I
or is
have
this your first time?
I have not seen it. This specific one, I have not used it, obviously. My initial impression, it looks basically like a copy of most of the other ones, with the exception of the coupled movement arm. That is the only advantage I see on this one over
Yeah,
the hammer one or
yeah, yeah.
the Life
And if you
Fitness.
direct, yeah, and if you direct your attention to where the handle is on the left-hand side of it, you can see how that makes it cumbersome
Oh,
to get in and out of. No, you're right.
yeah.
No, no,
This one.
no, 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 no. Back to where we were before. Yep, down there. See how that makes it a
Wow.
bit cumbersome to get in and out of it? Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to kind of, I'll show you when I'm doing this, but you have to walk between the roller pads and the seat rail itself and then kind of slide onto it. Like sit back into it if you don't want to rest your left thigh on the handle,
Okay.
that bottom left handle, getting into it. You'll
That
see
does
it when
it. Yeah,
I'm getting
I
into
do
it.
see. I do see what you mean. It is an awkward entry.
Yeah, and that is
Um,
so that position right there is where it is N, yeah, where your mouse is right now. That is the handle
mhm.
to move the to
Movement
disengage the
arm.
moving arm from the weight stack
Okay.
and move it up and down.
Is this fixed? Is the top
That is
pad?
fixed. The top is fixed, the bottom is not. On the
Okay.
on the dual, so the Technogym, this exact piece, the Technogym, coupled leg extension and leg curl machine, both roller pads are not fixed. You can adjust both roller pads.
Hmm. Okay. So this one here is fixed, but the one you're going to be using, it's
No, no, the one that I'm using is this precise one.
okay. Okay.
The other one is a dual function leg extension and leg curl machine. That one has both roller pads adjustable, like the bottom one there is with the silver metal
Got it.
option slots. Yeah. Okay. So now that you've seen it and that everyone else on the video, if this is published, has seen it, primary design criteria. This is not an exhaustive list for the primary considerations that we want to think about.
Hmm.
There are 24 considerations here. Some of them overlap, but all are important to consider for the ideal exercise machine, right? And assessing
Hmm.
any exercise machine. And there's always going to be some kind of trade-off, right, with some things, whether it's because we want to keep the cost affordable on a machine or make it not so massive size, size and space wise. It's all about trade-offs with this kind
Hmm.
of thing. Would you agree?
Yes, I will. There's always compromises. We're always
Yeah.
dealing with compromises.
Yeah.
So hold
Yeah.
on. Let's see.
I mean, yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was going to say,
change
and
my share.
yeah, that's cool. While you do that, I'll just say with those compromises and those trade-offs, we want to ensure and guarantee that none of the essential critical safety requirements are in any way compromised when it comes to doing these assessments and on the drawing board.
Hmm.
Yeah, we don't sacrifice anything critical, anything essential for safety.
What else? I'm trying, keep talking. I'm trying to share what you sent me of this. There it is.
What did I send you?
This.
Oh yeah, that's just an example.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, yep. So this is my own version of this checklist where the one that I have in my hand, which is the one that I printed, I just copied this from the hit list and just downloaded it.
Okay.
Um, Notice how, safe start position unloading.
Hmm.
It says 1.1, right?
Hmm.
I did that so that the 1.1 and then 1.1.1 or whatever, so that we can easily just reference which section
Move out of the sun.
we want to be
Keep
able to very
going.
quickly, yeah, we want to be able to very quickly know which part of the document, is being spoken about when discussing this with others or when note taking for others, right? And
Yes,
eventually,
yes.
when this becomes a more widely shared thing, right? Discussing machine design principles and having a team of assessors, we can very quickly, A, when someone reads the notes, they go, okay, instead of looking for, oh, what section was that one again? Just, oh, it's just 1.1. And you can
Hmm.
go straight to it, right?
Got it.
Number two, to also see patterns as well, right? To very quickly go, okay, we've seen that in most machines that we've assessed that are of a certain budget, this one item seems to have the most issues or the most common issues, right? And it's easy
Hmm.
just to highlight those for ease of reference and all that. That
So
all
here's
makes, I
here's
think,
2.1, 2.2,
self-explanatory
2.3.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. So on my one, it just says track muscle and joint function 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I put it as 2.1, 2.2, 2.3.
got
Yep.
it.
Yep. And I'm doing my own edits and additions to this list as well going forward. So for example, just a quick aside, I printed off the one that I printed off here, I have with the equipment information. Can you still see me?
Yeah, I see you fine.
Yep, there we go. Okay, I can't see myself because I can only see your
I
screen
see
share,
you.
but you can see this, right? Can you read that?
Yes.
Yeah. You see the
Kinda.
whole thing?
I see a table.
Yeah, you see a table? Okay.
Hmm.
On this table, I've got brand, line slash series, machine, version, identification code. I added that item. Approximate manufacturer year slash date, evaluator name, and then I added evaluation dates and evaluation location.
Good.
Machine condition, new or used, modifications slash refurbishments, if known. I just put to be TBD if I don't know.
Okay.
Aftermarket slash replacement parts, visible wear slash usage notes, and structural slash alignment issues if observed. I think we need to add more to this initial part, the equipment information section. We
I'm
need
sure
more.
we will as we go. Yeah, we'll
We
keep
will,
adding.
yeah, we will. Yeah. Okay, let's get into the assessment straight away. I think we've had
All right.
enough of a discussion of what this is. Do you feel ready?
Sure. Let me stop the screen
Yeah,
share.
very good. Good. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm in a live gym right now, so there's always going to be noises and stuff going around. How are you, bro? Doing good? Good. Very well, very well. If I flip my camera, will that
Hmm.
automatically adjust with the recording? Okay, cool.
Should. It
Let's go.
should.
Let's go for a wonder.
I'll let you know if it doesn't adjust.
Yeah. I don't want to capture anyone who doesn't want to be in the camera.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, here we go. So this is our friend Al Coleman is messaging me right now.
Hey, Al.
All right, here we go.
All
No,
right.
it's
Here's
on it's on
ours.
it's on Instagram. All right, what angle do you want?
That's a good angle right now.
That's a good angle. Okay, let me just do this. Now, I'm using the aftershocks. Will the Bluetooth work on the Zoom call? Can you hear me well?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear
Can you
you
hear me?
well. It should
Can you
it
hear Can you hear the music? The music's really annoying.
I don't hear the music at all.
Yeah, good. Okay, so this is the Technogem piece right here.
Hmm.
Leg curl, and you can see it has the shielding that is, I think the Pro version.
Okay.
No, it isn't. This is not the Pro version because the Pro version has the like the phone and cup holder up top. Yeah,
Is that a molded plastic?
yeah, it is. I think it's a plastic. You can hear that, right?
Yeah, molded
Yeah,
plastic. Okay.
yeah. And this is the leg extension, a separate
Hmm.
piece right here. And you can see what I mean by entering this machine is more cumbersome because of this piece right here.
Look at that. That's the leg extension and that's the
Yeah,
seat. Oh
this
my
is a very
God.
this is a very poorly made machine, this one, in terms of the entering and exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the leg curl, and you can see
They just use the
that's
same seat.
that's that's how that's which is fine, but that's
Yeah.
the amount of wiggle room that you have to get into and out of this thing. right? There's
Hmm.
not much space really to get into that for like people that have mobility issues or whatever, or larger people. They need
Hmm.
a different machine, I think. Anyway, I'll do a quick once around, have a look. That's what it looks like from here. Yeah.
And I'm supposing that was that the
Yep.
counterweight or was that a go back
Yes.
go
So
go back on the
the
back then? Was that
counterweight.
a
Yep. Yep. Yep.
was that a counterweight?
Yep.
That looks like a safety hazard to me.
It is. Yeah. Very, very much so. Look how much that
Yeah.
thing sticks
Yeah. I
out
mean,
from the
anything getting
side, right?
trapped in there?
It
If
should
somebody's
be
standing there,
internal.
clothes. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that
dude.
needs to be
Yeah, yeah.
internal.
And this is the leg extension one, external.
Oh, geez.
Yep, yep, yep.
Jeez.
And this
Okay.
the prone leg curl, same thing. The prone leg curls over there.
All right.
Yep, yep, yeah.
At
Now,
least at
please
least it has
excuse.
a
Yeah,
counterweight.
yeah, it does. It does indeed. Yeah. Now, please excuse if this is if the camera's shaky. I'm carrying it on a tripod. All right, let's get into this. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Go.
All right, cool. So I'll just sit into it and talk
Okay.
about it here. So the way that I get into this piece is I tend to step through here, take my time, and then just rock back into it like this. And if I need to from here, holding on to something here through here, grab, drop myself through. If I'm in a rush or whatever, but obviously I would normally get up, adjust the seat this way. It has a pneumatic, I think, way.
Pneumatic
Yeah,
assist.
it's got a yeah a piston there to
Okay.
assist. I normally put this to about setting 5
All right.
on this one. Yeah,
Okay.
setting 5 in terms of the height, so that I can align, which we'll get into in a minute. I can align better with the axis of the machine. So getting into the design criteria. So number one that we have for the critical safety requirements is safe start position unloading. And what we mean by
Mm-hmm.
that, does the machine allow safe unloading at the start point? And this is only a pass fail, right? And yes, it does. I can just come up and adjust this to whatever position I want. So that's a automatic pass.
Mm-hmm.
Item number two, weight stack not reachable during operation. That's a fail because the weight stack is right here.
And why do we not want the weight stack
Because
reachable?
we want to idiot proof as much as we can when we're in use. And I'm using 80 kilograms on a machine and I get my fingers underneath the weight stack, and whatever happens, I'm going to lose my hand.
Yeah. And in terms of just performance, focusing on the movement of the weight
Yeah.
is the wrong direction to think.
Could you elaborate on that?
By being able to see the weight going up and down, it becomes the goal of the exercise, making the weight go up and down. That's not what we
Hmm.
want. We want effort. We
Yeah.
want the if you could not see the weight at all, that would be ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. So we want as few distractions as possible from
Yes.
not even this, from in this case the knee flexors. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Item number three, head above remainder of body.
Yep.
Does the machine avoid positioning the head lower than the body? That's each one of these for the critical safety requirements. So these first seven is pass fail.
Hmm.
Head above remainder of body. Yes, unless I was in underwater where this whole thing can be flipped upside down or some catastrophic event happens. Speaking of, item four, catastrophic anatomical compression hazard. Does the machine avoid load placement that can compress airway, carotid arteries, or otherwise threaten cerebral perfusion? That is a pass because we're not compressing anything that we don't want to compress.
Yeah, the
And
only
especially
thing we're the
if we
only thing
have the
we're
seat,
we have some.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say one area of concern is possibly the hamstrings themselves on this
Yeah,
one because if you're sitting too far forward, that's why I like to have the seat as far back as I comfortably can, right? I can do it on setting 9 if I wanted to, but then I'm going to be almost pulled too far back in this thing. So when I set up on this one and I bring it, say, to number 5, if I go to align my knees, I am still in contact with the seat. My hips are. And this is actually ideal because my hamstrings are not touching at all right now.
yeah.
But it just feels weird. Like there's a massive gap behind me here. Anyway, point
You
is,
feel the fact that you feel
I'm not
weird.
compressing anything.
The
Yeah.
fact that you feel weird is a distraction enough to prevent full effort.
Yeah, yeah. But the to this point, because that was just a side note, the compression of anatomical parts, the hamstrings can be avoided in terms of compression by bringing the seat far back enough for the user in this piece. But then we run into several issues. One, this rail then becomes a hazard, as does
Hmm.
this support here, this part of the frame. But yeah, that's the only compression hazard that I could think of besides the obvious one of the weight stack being touchable and reachable. Yeah. Do you see any other compression hazards?
Um, just if the not catastrophic, but
Hmm.
if the lower roller pad is not properly, if it's not properly on the lower leg, it
Yep.
can push either too close on the Achilles or too high up on the calf.
Yep. Yep.
That can be a distracting positioning or
Yep.
compression.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
And
Correct. Correct.
everything, by the way, I forgot to mention, everything we're doing here, the goal is to help the user achieve full effort as best as possible. The goal is
Yeah.
to
And as
move
safely as possible. Yep.
as safely and as effectively as possible. Um, yeah, just that's the
Yep.
goal right there.
Yep. Yep. And that is the point of an exercise machine, as opposed to, oh, that's one of the many points of an exercise machine specifically to take away more skill elements and make it
Hmm.
more movements, gross and fine motor skill elements, and make it more about
Effort.
getting to the muscles, right?
Yeah,
Getting to the
yeah,
tendons and getting to the muscles and all the associated tissues, right?
yep.
Yep, yep, very good. Head and neck support when required is item 5. It's not really needed because the recline is not that aggressive on this one. Let
Hmm.
me show you. This one, the seat is only, can you see that visibly well? I can't see
Hmm.
it because I can't see myself because you have the head and neck support. You have the screen sharing going on. But yeah, you can see it's not a very aggressive recline, so it doesn't. We don't really need head and neck
Let's
support here.
see.
But for
Looks about
people
30
that
degrees.
it's about 20, 30. Yeah, for
Yeah,
people that
that's comfortable
which is
enough. That's almost normal recliner.
yeah, and it's actually preferable for a seated leg curl because of which we're going to get into muscular sufficiency principles.
Okay.
Yeah. On this one, yeah. If we are leaning too far forward, let's say instead of being at that angle, the seat was up to here, straight up and down, or even more extreme, leaning forward, then we would not be able to fully extend our knees on this machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you did, if you would be quite a bit flexible person if you could.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. This machine, the cam on this machine, if you can probably, you can see it there, and I will get into this in the next part of the criteria now, after I've done. I'll do the next two hazards first, or the next two critical, and then we'll get into the primary design criteria.
Okay.
Yeah. So non-slip critical contact points. Sorry, head and neck support when required. Not really required, but it could be done. Just an
Hmm.
extra bit of height here. That's
Put a
fine, but
little,
it's not
well, you could also just put a
unless you're a
bone pillow
special.
behind. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
bone pillow behind the neck.
yeah. You'll need to have it like attached to this thing, because most people's heads are going to be off this, right?
Hmm.
But unless you have like very special conditions where you have some kind of maybe neurological issue or something of that nature where you literally can't support your head without support, right? Then this would be a contraindicated machine. Number six is, can you see me?
I see it.
Can you see all of me? Yep, good. Non-slip critical contact points. Does the machine provide non-slip contact surfaces at all user contact points where loss of traction could create a safety hazard? That to me is a pass. The
Yeah.
roller pads, the upholstery in general is grippy enough. Like it's actually decently grippy for this purpose, and the coupled nature of this movement arm is such that you're not going to slip. Even if these were slippery, you're not really going to move much. And the seat's good. We have handles. There's no belts to minimize that overall, but in terms of slipperiness, no, it's fine. And number seven, no balance required under load. I'm seated, very little balance requirements on this piece. So in terms of the critical safety requirements, this gets a 6 out of 7, which is a fail
Hmm.
by our standards.
Yeah.
And these are marked out of 50, right? So pass is 50, fail is -50. Um, or it should be pass is 50, fail is 0, right?
Hmm.
Because that gives us a total of 300 on this one, which is a fail. We
Yeah,
can
that. So critical safe. What is the biggest critical safety issue here?
on this machine, it's the weight
Mm.
stack being reachable.
Weight stack being reachable, and I would say the second biggest thing would be that the name of it just went out. The thing swinging behind it.
Yeah, but that is not. So that's the thing that we need to add, and I thought about adding that to this list. You mean the counterweight?
Counterbalance. Yeah, the counterweight.
Counterweight? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. As soon as I assess one of the other machines at a different gym, again, Techno Gym is notorious for doing this kind of lack of foresight. I don't understand
Hmm.
how or why. They just do it, and every gym buys it, right?
Yeah.
It's frustrating because the general public deserves better. Now, I would add that to this actually, item 8, which is almost it's the same reasoning as point 2, weight stack not reachable during operation, right? So too,
Hmm.
no hazardous moving parts accessible by anyone during operation, right?
Yeah.
Preferably, right? Preferably. Obviously, if you're on a leg press, or this this can be catastrophic if someone's walking by and I just all of a sudden let go of the whole waist stack loaded on this movement arm. It can hit someone, make them fall over, and hit the head, right?
Hmm.
But within reason, right? Within reasonable operation of the machine, we want all unnecessarily exposed things to not be exposed. Put another way, we want anything that can be covered, that is not critical for the effective use of the machine, to be covered as well as possible. I'll put that as
Oh,
item 8. I'll put that as actually, I put that as item number 3 on this one after weight
okay.
stack not reachable.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be ordered in order of importance as well.
Yeah.
if possible. They're all critical, but one's like not having a catch and trip hazard outside the machine is arguably more important because that affects more people, right? Whereas
Uh,
web stack not reachable, the head above remainder body, that only affects the user really.
yeah, I would
Does
agree.
that does that make sense? Is that fair?
Yeah, I agree. I'm there. We have to go with, sometimes we have to go with what's practical, and what is ideal.
Yep, yep.
We
So
want to
yeah,
try to achieve the ideal.
yeah,
So weight stack
correct.
not reachable is ideal.
Yeah, and it's doable as well. It's
Yeah.
not too hard to do it without making it. I mean, you just have this shielded fully and
Hmm.
then this on the other side, right?
Yeah, it would be simple.
But then you have the hazard of random people just with either absentmindedly or with ill intent, just randomly coming up and just messing with the weight stack on the other side, right? In a trade-offs and compromises, right? In a commercial
Yeah.
gym, in a gym in a not so nice neighborhood, right? Where who knows what's happening in the communal social dynamics of that area. Someone might have a grudge and just with an easily accessible weight stack do some weird stuff to it, right?
Hmm.
Trade-offs. It's all about trade-offs. We can't have the ideal unless it's in a private studio where everything is controlled. I think
That's a different situation.
that's the safest way. I think the safest way, yeah. We want as safe as possible for general use. That's what this piece is for. I hope that's what the reasoning behind this piece is and pieces like this one. But in terms of the ideal, which is what a checklist like this helps us think about and begin to approximate in our minds better and better, the ideal piece is one that has complete user safety and
Yes.
user intuition baked in, and instructor or whoever else in the environment is on the same page and that and everything is safe, right?
Yeah.
The whole gym or studio is safe, right? Then we can have things like waste stacks on the other side, like accessible from the other side. Then we can have you know um yeah, other things. You know what I'm saying on that. All right. Anything more with the critical safety requirements, or shall we move on to the primary design, or shall I move on to the primary
Move
design
on.
criteria? Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Primary design criteria. So shall I explain why we have this section next, or
Yes.
why I think Drew has this section next?
Yes.
Um, I don't know how he put this whole checklist together. It looks like it's based on what he had on the hit list, and he added things before and after the primary design criteria.
Hmm.
So primary design criteria are the big things to check on a machine, the big obvious things, right? Number one, and I'm not going to list them all and then go through them. I'll just go through them one at a time. Number one, track muscle and joint function. The question is here, does the machine properly track muscle and joint function? If yes, how well? Track muscle and joint function means whatever the targeted or loaded joints in that are going to be going through a range of motion or statically in a machine, does the machine itself, as in the way that the movement arm operates, the way that everything moves on it, go with what, say, my knees want to do when I bend my knees in this machine. The knees are not a perfectly semicircular or circular joint like a door hinge. They're what we call an ovoid. It's like a just think non-circular, right? And what that means is that since this machine is on a circular axis, right? It's a perfect, well, to my awareness anyway, I can't see inside it, but this machine looks like it is a door hinge style hinge, right?
Hmm.
Um, that is a good approximation for how the knee itself, what we call articulates, how it bends or how it acts as a joint. But because the knee is not a perfect circle, w- we want to accommodate for that in whatever ways that we can. That's what we mean by track proper joint function. Muscle
Yeah.
function goes with joint function, basically. My knee flexes, pull on the back of my shin bone and bend the knee. It's pretty much dictated by what the joint will allow it to do,
Hmm.
except for certain joints, like with knee extension, where it's the kneecap itself is not actually tied down to any other bony structure directly. It's floating in a sea of soft tissues, tendons, right? So that's a bit of a different-ish case where there's more wiggle room. Same with the
Hmm.
shoulder blade, right? The shoulder blade itself only attaches to our the rest of our skeleton directly at one point, which is our collarbone, onto our sternum, right? The top part of our sternum.
We got this motion, and
Yeah, I
almost.
can't see I can't see what you're doing, but yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
those
Making my
motions.
shoulders go everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. So we want whatever machine to track what the joint, and if the joint, like the shoulder joints or this shoulder blade and all that, it's called a floating, or it can be considered a floating joint, right?
Hmm.
It's loose-ish. In this case, it's not what the joint itself limits us to do because it's pretty unlimited in motion. It's what the muscles surrounding the joint wants to do, right?
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Was that
Yeah,
explained well?
yeah, I think so.
Yep, yep. Would you add anything to that? Quickly.
Just to simplify it,
Yep, yep,
we consider the joint, I guess the joint first, where the skeleton needs to be, and then
yep,
what position the body needs to be in to work the muscles that are the target.
yep, yep. That's a simple, but excellent nutshellification of that. Very good.
Nutshellification. I like that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this machine does track muscle and joint function.
Hmm.
I gave it a 4.
I would
So
agree. Yeah.
it's almost excellent tracking. It's only a 4 because the axis is a circular axis to my awareness. It is not, it is a circular axis and the seat is fixed. The way that we work around that, because the knee is not a perfectly circular joint, is we either have the axis of the machine itself move slightly back and forth to accommodate, which is uh, way more complicated, or we have the seat itself move slightly back and forth as we do it. That's the
Al-
ideal
Also
for
complicated.
this.
Yeah.
Also complicated, less so than having this move,
Yeah.
because this is the joint and all the architecture, all the mechanics from this movement arm to the weight stack has to be calibrated for this to move, right?
Yep.
Having the seat move is, I would say, far less complicated. You just have it that you have the Medix modified machine on wheels. The seat is on wheels, and it just rolls back and forth, right?
Hmm.
Seems just in principle way simpler to me. Unless we get Thor's box, right? We get Clay to retrofit this piece with the Thor's box, the floating axis, right?
They may be able to come up with some sort of license for that, but I'm
Yeah,
sure.
we'll see. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see, we'll see. But the way that we work around that for this machine, just very quickly, is we sit far back enough in the seat. So we set the seat far back enough so that my knee begins slightly behind the axis of the machine. And then
Hmm.
when I shuffle myself forward, I am in a position such that my knees are what are called coaxially aligned, which we'll get to in one of the later points in this part of the checklist. My hips are not in contact with the back pad, so that
Hmm.
when I go to bend my knees, initially my hips won't move. As my shin travels around and it goes from here, knee straight, it kind of does this to exaggerate what happens to it. It does that motion right there. And you can see that is not this. If my knees did this, it's a different story to if my shin did that, which is more like what
Yeah.
happens when I bend my knee.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
means that
It's
I'm going to have a
going
force
around.
pushing me this way as my shin literally begins to creep relatively nearer to my hip. The whole shin becomes somewhat a little bit nearer to my hip. If I have a gap behind me in the hips, then my hips can accommodate by shifting back and forth slightly when I do this.
What
If
happens
I'm
if you
flush,
what
if I'm
happens if
flush
you're too
against the
far
back,
if you're too far forward?
yeah. If I'm too far forward,
Hmm.
well, for me,
If anyone's too far
I
forward,
can
what
show you. Yep,
happens?
yep, yep. So if we are too far forward in this piece, and I'm going to make it heavier so so we can see what happens. If I'm too far forward and I try and bend, eventually this is going to push me backwards.
Okay.
If I'm
And
too
if you're
far
too
back and I try and bend, I'm going to eventually be pulled forward
got
until
it.
my knees, not until what the forces are trying to make me do is pull my knees in alignment with the axis of this machine.
So do you feel the coupling will let you know if you're out of alignment?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. What happens is it's what is called translation or rolling. If it's a flat pad, it's called translation. If on roller pads, it's called rolling, obviously. Uh, when you set yourself up in the piece, what'll happen is you'll feel the roller pads going in one or the other direction in terms of the rolling. You'll feel something happening there in terms of friction or just a sensation that is changing where the pressure is. In
Hmm.
this case, on my shin and on the back of my leg. My checklist fell. Yep. Okay, m moving on. Let's begin to go through these a bit faster. Number
All
two,
right.
positive and negative work. Does the machine provide both positive and negative work potential? Meaning, can I both flex and then unflex my knee under load, under meaningful load? Yes, I can do that. So
Hmm.
that is a five. Coaxial alignment, rotary. For rotary movements, this is a rotary movement or a isolation exercise or a simple exercise. And by isolation and simple, we mean that we're trying to isolate the hamstring and the knee joints. We technically use the word simple or rotary because it more accurately describes what is happening.
Hmm.
Isolation is a good term though for what the goal is of this kind of machine. So not incorrect usage, isolation, even though that is heavily criticized by people in the hit space or the more precise in the hit space. But isolation does work in terms of describing what the point of this machine is.
Hmm.
Yeah, would you agree?
Yeah, you're not doing leg press and squat where you're having a lot of things. You're trying to get rid of the muscles involvement. So
Yeah, yeah,
the goal is isolation, but you never
yeah,
actually isolate now.
yeah. That's right. Well, isolate-ish.
Yes.
I prefer the word bracket, right? We're trying to bracket
Bracket?
out the bracket. Yeah, we were trying to bracket the hamstrings specifically.
I need to think on that. I need to, yeah, maybe
Oh, that's a word from
Australian.
no, no, it's a word from existential philosophy.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay. So coaxial alignment. Does the machine maintain proper coaxial alignment? Yes, it does. For me anyway. Yep.
Hmm.
My knees aligned with the axis of the machine. I can get that done well. For someone that's very, very short, maybe not. For a very big person, also maybe not, right? Depends on it really actually depends on where these roller pads sit on the person's legs and the seat itself, obviously. So if I give that I would give it a four to three and a half, four maybe, because for very big and very small people, maybe not.
And
Number four
two
is
point 2.4, that's not applicable.
2.4.
compound
Oh,
arc
compound arc.
compatibility.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For these, I just put five, just
Yeah.
because whatever. But I'll just say it's the compound arc compatibility. What this means is for compound movements, does the machine account for congruent and incongruent arcs? So if I'm doing, say, a chest press, if the movement arm, what I'm holding and pushing onto, the pivot is at the top, so it pivots like this. We call that a congruent movement arc because what's happening at my shoulder joint is like the joints here, elbow is going forward and back. The handles on that movement arm are going from the top as
Hmm.
the pivot point forward and back, as opposed to if it was from the bottom, think about say a broom on the floor and you move the broom back and forth, right? Or a
Hmm.
chest press that's also like that. That'd be an incongruent movement arc
Yeah.
for the shoulder, for the pressing movement of the for the shoulder specifically. Not relevant to this machine. Does the machine provide direct resistance? Number five. And this is just pass fail. It's five pass. It is
Hmm.
direct. It is on, and by direct we mean that it is not like I have this roller pad on the bottom of my foot and I have to flex my foot. I have to plantar flex my foot and then curl. That would be indirect resistance. It is the roller pad is on the part of the body where the knee flexors directly attach onto.
Hmm.
There are no steps in the link, or there's no or degrees of separation. Number six, balance resistance. How well does the machine balance the resistance to the strength curve? I put this as a two or a three.
That
This,
bad? Wow.
yeah, watch. Let me gap this to a fairly heavy weight so you can see that I can move it and initiate the movement quite far, but then I cannot keep it going. I should be, if I can
It,
get this thing started, I should be able to keep it going. Yeah.
yeah.
Would you agree that if I can get it going, comfortable-ish, I should be able to keep it going at the same relative difficulty?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So this is on 70 kilograms right now. Watch this. I can actually fairly easily move this. And that's it. I would have to really struggle to go further than this.
That's where it needs to start falling off. Yeah.
It's when you start falling off. Yeah, yeah, and it doesn't. And you can see why if I quickly highlights what the cam looks like.
It's cammed for fast movement.
Look at the cam. Yep, yeah. And you and I have
Yeah.
discussed this before, where you said that you spoke to someone in this industry, and they said that that's so that people don't just slam into the fully flexed and fully extended positions, right?
Yep.
It's to mitigate and just yeah, put us some like I can see how it is a safety feature to some degree. Yep,
In a
yep, but yeah,
sense, this is
you can see.
similar. In a sense, this is similar to some of the original Nautilus cams back when Arthur believed that you were in your strongest position, but it's because
Yeah,
they were
in the
throwing the
fully
weight
yeah, yeah,
to
that's right.
the full, yeah, to the fully contracted. And the same, this is what's happening here. And
Yeah,
the oppositional, not oppositional, the camming in the opposite direction you want is how they do that to control the resistance.
yeah, that's right. Yep, yep, yep. Cool. So yeah, in terms of the balance, actually, you know what? This is a zero,
Yeah,
a
I
one,
would
or a, it's actually is zero. It's not even one. It's not
I would
poorly. It's
I would
completely backwards.
yeah, I would agree. I would
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. I was generous by giving it a two or a three because if it's light enough, you can. It does drop off a decent amount ish once you get past the very difficult part. Um, somewhat. Actually, funnily enough, the dual knee extension, leg extension, leg curl machine that Technogym makes, where
Mhm.
both the top roller pad and the bottom roller pad are adjustable. That one, interestingly enough, I think has the same cam as the knee extension that I showed earlier, where that one gets very heavy at the top, opposite of this cam. I
Yeah,
think they just cut the same cam and just flipped it.
more than
But
likely.
that cam is perfect. The cam on the dual curl extension machine is actually almost it's perfect almost for knee flexion.
Oh,
I used it recently. Weirdly, they got that cam really good, even though this looks like the same machine as that one, and you can look it up afterwards what the seated leg curl leg extension combined machine looks like. The leg extension is very heavy into about halfway up in towards lockout. Leg curl, pretty good, pretty good actually. And I think that was an accidental correct decision. All right, exceeds range of motion. Item number 7. Does
mm-hmm.
the machine exceed the body's range of motion? Yes, it does. For the purposes of this particular machine, I would say for me, it pretty much, at least which way?
Meets or at least meets or exceeds.
Yeah, it pretty much meets it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm setting number 1 on this one. Like, I can feel, okay, this one has a bit of give in where this thing catches. So let's say I put it to number 1, the arrow comes to about 1.5 when it actually engages. So my
Mm-hmm.
knees aren't fully extended. They're a little bit bent when I start this movement, say, but it's pretty much close enough. And when I go to fully flex my knee, I go and I hit when I hit the end of this thing is pretty much full knee flexion for me,
Pull it back in. Pull it back again.
as in curl my knee again.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like it looks like the seat itself is the limiting factor, not the
yeah, it is. No,
range.
it is. This
Wow.
thing here. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's frustrating, but I mean, I'm pretty much like
That
my calf is in contact almost with my hamstring.
hold on. Yeah, slide one leg out and bend your knee for me and just see how far you can bend it naturally.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I
That's
can
a
go
lot
all the
more.
way.
That's
Yeah,
a
it
lot more
is.
than so
It is
this
a lot
machine
more.
does
Yeah.
not this machine does not go that far.
No, no, it doesn't. I give it about a 3.
Yeah, four or three, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 3. Arrest reaction force. How well does the machine arrest reaction force? And what we mean by reaction force is exactly what we've been saying with regards to the coupled movement arm. So reaction force, Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Pretty sure that's his third law.
A coupling is about as good as you
When
can
I,
get at
yeah,
arresting
yeah,
reactionary forces.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So reactionary force is when I push an object, it it doesn't push back on me, it exerts a force back to me.
Hmm.
So the same amount as what I applied to it. So when I go to bend my knee on this one, um, the resistance on this forcing is trying to resist me from going, so it's forcing me up in that direction simultaneously in direct proportion to what I'm applying to it. This top pad right here, the roller pad, does what is called arrests that reactionary force by itself opposing the force that I'm transmitting from this pad through my shin into this pad, and that balances out. And that's why I can just have my hands off the machine completely and just bend my knees. And if I'm aligned with the axis correctly, I can just do this all day, and I'm not going to be pulling myself up and forward, as opposed to if I were to do this. If I bend my knees like this, I'm going to be pulling myself forward.
Well, yeah, with if that is stable, yeah.
Yeah, yep, yep, yeah.
We got about 2 or 3 minutes.
All right, very good. I'll blast through the rest. Arrest reactionary force, 5, support and stability. Does the machine provide a seat or bench for stability? 5. It's fine. Friction, 3.5, 4. Apparatus torque. that it's, I think, not 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 very good. This feels heavy-ish doing this. This is on the lowest setting, and it does feel kind of heavy doing that. I give it about a three for apparatus torque, body torque. I give it about a three or a four as well.
It may be heavy there because it's averaging out the weight of a lower some average lower leg.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
It could be accounting for the average weight of a lower leg.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Body torque, yeah, muscular sufficiency. Yes, it does obey muscular sufficiency principles.
Hmm.
Compression of target muscles.
That's what
No,
we discussed
it's
that
about a three.
earlier.
That's about a three or a two even.
Slightly.
I would say actually. I'd say I only need two. The seat should be smaller and differently shaped. Non-fused movement arms. That's a five. Unilateral five. Side lying five. Entry exit is about a three. Low starting resistance. I would say it's about a four. Fine resistance adjustment increments. That's about a three as well.
Hmm.
Centered visual alignment is zero. This screen is on the right.
So yeah,
Don't
it's
want that.
making you look over to the side. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Same with the weight stack.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Avoid excessive shielding. That's a one.
It's excessive shielding.
Yeah. Plate loading ergonomics, just a five because it doesn't count. Controls usability, I give it about a four. The controls are pretty intuitive, I think, but
Hmm.
there's not great instructions for it. Yeah, okay.
There is a little like wheel looking thing near the bottom of the machine. Do you see it?
That?
Yeah, right. Oh, okay, that's the can. Okay, I see. That's
Yeah,
the
it's where the
cam
where
strap.
the cable go it's
Cam
where the
strap.
cable
Cam
goes through.
strap.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So they're going
Yep.
to have some twisting of the cable inside there then. All
Yeah,
right.
most likely. So yeah,
Well,
that
that
is
will
this
add to the
machine.
friction. All
Yeah.
right.
So that is this machine. That's the
Excellent.
first two sections of
Excellent.
the machine. Yep. Hello. What do you
So
think?
we will, well, that this is the first machine we've done, and we will
Yeah.
continue doing more.
Yeah. Let
Uh,
me tilt this camera down so we don't
yeah,
catch
yeah.
anyone. Yep.
Let you walk
Continue.
away. So
Yep. Yep. Yep.
we will continue this series with either more on this machine or move on to another machine. But both
Yeah.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
I, and hopefully Drew and others will join us, and hopefully we can get some engineers in here. I would
Yep.
really
I
like to
am
get
chatting with one now.
good. I would really like to
I'm
get
chatting with
one
a
in on
student.
these calls and help solidify some of the language we use.
Yep. Yep. That's going to be a. Let me flip on my selfie cam again. Welcome to the staff locker room. Hello. Yeah. So this is fun. We are going to get a lot of people interested and involved in this because this stuff is important.
Yes, I agree.
And
And I think the more people we can get involved in just going through these and videoing these, and more groups of people doing it together, the more we can influence exercise machine design.
I think so, yeah. And I
Yeah,
think that, yeah, I want to lead the charge in my country because no
yeah,
one that I know currently is doing this to this depth right now here.
yeah. Yep,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
you
find
will
them.
be the first. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Very good.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. I will talk to you later, and I'm going to stop recording now.
Great. Thank you.